All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 12 o'clock hour of Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. We are broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin, serving the Fox River Valley area. We hope that you are enjoying your morning so far today here. You might be tuning in. We are live here in Studio 14 in downtown Elgin. And it's a beautiful sunny day, of course, as we know. So you can't complain too much about that with the beautiful sunshine and the temperatures warming up. We are getting closer into the spring season and springing into action with some fun things here planned for the spring season within the Fox River Valley. You don't want to miss out on those. And here on WRMN, we like to keep you informed, up to date, and in the loop with what's happening here in the Fox River Valley. Don't forget, of course, you can tune in live on youtube.com at WRMN Radio. Hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so that you can always keep up to date and in the loop with what's happening here in the Fox River Valley and also what's going on here on WRMN. We're also on facebook.com at WRMN 1410 Radio. So, of course, you can follow along there as well, too. Lots of great ways that you can listen to us and keep in tune with what's going on here in the Fox River Valley area. Now, many of those who are within the Elgin area might be familiar with the West Ridge Community Church. Well, coming up here, this is going to be Tuesday, March 18th. At least I do believe. Is that a Tuesday? Yeah, that's a Tuesday. March 18th at 7 p.m., there is going to be a performance. It's going to be a concert by the Yale Wiffenpoofs. Yes. How cool is that? So I have a very special guest here today, Charlie Karner, who is a member of the Wiffenpoofs of Yale. So thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. It's a beautiful sunny day outside today. I think this is a great opportunity to tell people a little bit about what the Yale Wiffenpoofs have to offer. So tell us first and foremost, what is the Yale Wiffenpoofs?
Totally. First, just starting off, I'm Charlie. I'm from Elgin, so that's the connection. The Yale Wiffenpoofs, so it's essentially the world's oldest collegiate a cappella group, established at Yale in 1909. And so we just had our 115th reunion. Basically, the idea is it's a senior a cappella group. You take a gap year, and 14 Yale seniors audition and are selected, and you get to do 4 tours. Fall tour, spring tour, winter tour. This is part of our spring tour, and summer tour. And you get to arrange. We do an album, and it's really fun. You get to get close with your friends and also like share the a cappella tradition, but also sort of merge it with new innovation and new arrangements and stuff like that, which is really fun.
That's cool. So you're an Elginite here. You grew up in Elgin, like myself as well, too. Very cool. What school did you go to growing up in middle school and high school?
Middle school, I went to Prairie Knolls Middle School. And high school, I went to Burlington Central High School, or Central High School, in the cornfields down near Burlington, Hampshire area. Yep. So I went there, graduated 2020, took a gap year, college, and this is my second gap year now.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. So, I mean, I think it's, first of all, oh my goodness, you go to Yale, which is so cool. I have a cousin that graduated from Yale too. So it's definitely, it's a prestigious college, for sure. And, it's just so well organized and put together. So that is really, really cool. Now, again, the Wiffenpoofs have performed for have actually performed over 200 concerts across 6 continents too, which I think is really, really cool. So with that being said, I'm sure you probably have quite a bit of a schedule, in comparison to the rest of your academic and personal life at Yale. So how do you try to manage that?
Totally. So I think, as I had sort of mentioned earlier, there's 4 tour periods, so about a month in the fall, a month in the winter, a month in the spring, and then 3.5 months in the summer, which is where we go to 21 countries,
Oh,
which
wow.
is I'm insane to say out loud. I'm very grateful. Managing schedule, in order to make all of this happen, we gig a lot. So even when we're in New Haven in between these tours, you know, we're going to retirement homes and different public concerts on the area and churches. And I think to manage my own schedule, I think there's a lot of stuff with like vocal health that I focus on. There's a lot regarding like working my own job on the side and like also still it's you get to sort of have this hybrid still being at Yale sometimes in New Haven. So I get to like still see my friends, managing schedule, like eating and stuff like that. But a lot of the year really is structured around the group. So you do, that's the reason you take a gap year. So it's sort of it's an experience of being a touring artist, which is like, I want to go into music after college too. So, it's, you do live the artist schedule a little bit, which is really cool. And I'm very grateful. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, I was just say like on tours, the schedule is pretty variable. So I think there's like various things I do to like try and remain grounded. And I think like, honestly, just even being outside, like you described, like the sun today, like I need to be outside today just to like get that grounding moment. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say, well, the fact that you travel, that's awesome in and of itself. The fact that you travel with people, and I'm sure that you also get to experience a lot of different cultures as well too, which I think is really cool. So not only is it, of course, that you're performing, but you're also, I'm sure, also have some time where you can kind of explore the different areas that you are that you're traveling to.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Do you have any memorable places in particular that you really like, that you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the place to go to, or I've had such a very memorable experience here? Anything that kind of stood out?
Totally. I think one of the biggest things like that I'm so grateful for is to see so many different places. Like, for example, I had never been to Washington State, and seeing that for the first time. But on our winter tour, we went to San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. And there was this opportunity to do a gig at this nonprofit organization called Centro Infantil de Los Angeles. It was like basically this daycare preschool that provided free daycare and preschool to like families with the most financial need in the city. And so we were able to do a gig there, perform for a bunch of the kids and the teachers, and then got a little tour of the school after. And I think it was like that was one of the most like loving staff experiences that I've ever seen. Like I think the way that I could see that they truly cared about the families and like about the students was genuinely like heartwarming to the 10th degree. I think it stood out to me a lot because I think like, you know, Yale and being in the a cappella group, like being able to sort of move with like the reason we're able to do a lot of this is because like, you know, all of the years of tradition, stuff like that. But also I think being able to like give back whenever we can to communities that we visit was really, really super rewarding. And honestly, I'd love to go back on my own because they do like a volunteer program. I'd love to go back on my own and see that again. I think there was just so much care towards the families and towards the students that just felt so meaningful. And I'm so excited. We go international over the summer tour. And so I'm really so excited to like see these types of things again.
That's so cool. So tell us a little bit about, I think the traditions are jazz standards. Is that correct? Kind of like a jazz style of music?
Yeah. Honestly, I think we do have a lot of jazz standards in the rep. When you have a group that's like 115 years, we have thousands of arrangements at this point because all arrangements are done by either current or former members of the group. So at the concert on Tuesday, you'll hear some stuff done by current members of the group and some stuff done, you know, 1909 or 1950 or something like that. So we do have a lot of jazz standards. We also, like for example, a song in our active rep is La La Land, Another Day of Sun. And so the repertoire sort of spans like, we got some folk, we got some jazz standards, we've got some more contemporary songs. I think that's part of the awesomeness of a cappella is that you can really take these like wide range of genres and blend it into like a really cohesive and fun show. So there's definitely a variety, I think, in the repertoire, which I really enjoy.
I definitely enjoy that too, because I did a lot of singing when I was in school too.
Cool.
So I always loved doing, I took music lessons, and so I can't sing like I used to. I really should practice again. But I think it's a really great way to, see how far you can go too with your vocal cords, and of course, singing, from your gut versus just from your throat or from, your mouth. That kind of whole thing about that too.
Diaphragm breathing.
Right, exactly. Doing those warm-ups.
Right.
So it's definitely a unique experience. And I think what you do is you bring to the table such a unique group together too. It's 15 people. Is that correct?
14, yeah.
14, right. So, I mean, how are you able to, how many people try out for that? I'm sure there's a lot of people that do.
On a typical year, it ranges between maybe like 35 and 50.
Okay.
And it's just especially because it's like you have to really commit to taking the gap year. But yeah, it's 14 every year and full group turnover. So about 3 weeks ago now, we had just selected the Whiffs is like the little nickname, for 2026. So yeah, it's about 14 people, typically all from different places. And so you sort of like come together in this experience that like you co-create and also operate on like, a past range of tradition. And it's cool. It's like a little different every single year.
Now, when it comes to singing, it does take a lot of practice, especially when it comes to singing as a group. How often do you have to practice? Does it kind of fluctuate based off of your day and your schedule?
Yeah, it fluctuates a lot based upon the number of gigs we're doing in any given time. In the beginning of the year, we do like a week and a half retreat to learn, basically enough songs to do gigs. Especially because there's so full group turnover, the people don't come into the group like already knowing the arrangements. So there's like a period in the beginning of the year where you're really like doing a lot of practice to learn rep, and then honestly some of the practice becomes through the gigging, so like learning while doing. But we also do an album every year, which means there's got to be 14 rehearsed tracks and like recorded in studios and stuff, which is really awesome. So rehearsal definitely varies based upon schedules. Like for example, on tour, maybe we'll rehearse a little bit less than we do in New Haven. Because like you said, like you want to experience like the different cultures and like opportunities that you can experience on tour. And like on the Chicago tour, for example, or Chicago area tour, we have 3 of us from the Chicagoland area. So we're all staying in each other's hometowns and houses and like experiencing where we grew up, which is like really sweet.
I think that's really cool too, because you get people from all over.
Yeah.
Do you get people from other countries as well too?
Yeah, we do. Which is really beautiful, especially when people have the opportunity to visit like their home country. Because I know it can be a little bit harder, like with like school breaks to like pick out different trips and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really quite cool. And also Yale has a really large international student population as well, which is one of the things I really love about it.
I think what's cool too is that because it's a smaller group, you get to meet a lot of people and you get to experience, talking with them about their different cultures and backgrounds, and you can make a lot of great friends along the way too. Yeah. Which is very, very cool. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is going to be coming up. It'll be March. Oh my goodness. I already forgot the date. Excuse me. March 18th, right?
Yep. Okay. Tuesday, March 18th at 7 p.m. at Westridge Community Church. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, that's all. Yeah. So it'll be coming up. It'll be, Tuesday, March 18th, 7 p.m. at the Westridge Community Church. And come on out and enjoy this great event. Now, how can people find more information about the Yale Wiffenpoofs?
Totally. So tickets are available, and also as is more information about the group at wiffenpoofs.com, which is WHIFFENPOOFS. Oh, wow. Amazing. .com. And so you'll click performances and then you'll see Wiffenpoofs and Elgin with an exclamation point, which is really exciting. There it is. Right there. And then you can click tickets are available here. It'll take you to our ticket bud, where there's going to be some tickets. And if you do find out about this through the radio show, there is a promo code listener that will be available until St. Patrick's Day for a little discount, and I would love to see you there.
Awesome. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. So it's the promo code. I'll make sure to write this down for myself so that I can also share it with others out there too. So this is the promo code.
Listener.
All right. So that's PRMO. And then this is it in all caps?
Yep. And it'll be basically when you click the ticket bud, there's an option right underneath for the promo code. It'll take a bit of a discount off the general admission.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me on your,
Oh my goodness.
show.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on WRMN. Of course, you're always welcome. And we would have to maybe see, you would definitely have to work through, if possible, maybe get some other people, folks in here too, to, I don't even know, maybe give us a little sneak peek before the day comes. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So, Charlie,
awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410 here in just a bit. So, of course, stay tuned.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7.